You're listening to Behind the Mic with AudioFile magazine. I'm Jo Reed, and I have Kendra Winchester with me for the week. And you started off with a Nobel Prize winner. So where are we going today?
Well, we're going to one of my most recent favorite author, and that is Julia Armfield. And so her latest novel is Private Rites, and that's read by Hannah van der Westhuizen. And this is a retelling of King Lear.
That is the gift that keeps on giving. It's a Cinderella story that has such resonance. It just keeps getting told and retold and retold, but brilliantly. I mean, there's so many variations on that theme.
Yes, yes, and, I didn't take 2nd semester Shakespeare in college, so I hadn't read it yet, so my dedication to Julia Armfield is such that I decided to listen to an audiobook of King Lear and then listen to the audiobook for Private Rites, and it was a delight, honestly, so I got the full experience.
So tell us what Julia is doing with King Lear.
So in Private Rites, we have three queer sisters, Isla, Irene, and Agnes. And they are living in a world where their city is slowly sinking beneath the waves because of climate change. And so
Ah.
their father was a very famous architect. And at the very beginning of the novel, they get the call that he has died, and they kind of meet up and begin to process everything and begin to go through his affairs. And so you have these sisters who are all very, very different. So when they get together, sparks fly. There's all this drama and complexity between them. And that's really where it starts. And it's just a very captivating story.
And do we have the favored sister? How much does it carry this sort of Lear arc?
Yes. So the youngest sister is the kind of the favorite. She has a different mom than her older two sisters, and there's like a huge decade age gap in between them. And so Isla is the oldest sister and feels that she should be the favorite sister. She's the oldest, she's taken care of everyone. She's a type A therapist type personality. And so all of that has all this tension between the sisters because of that.
And let's talk about Hannah, and how is she as a narrator?
I loved the way that this narrator is able to create this creepy, otherworldly atmosphere. Like this is a, end of the world
Mhm.
novel on top of everything else. The waves are growing higher, buildings are falling beneath the waves, people losing housing, hospitals are flooding. So you have this very intense relationship story on this backdrop of the end of the world, and it creates this very eerie sort of mood to the whole thing.
Yeah, so she has to sort of convey this sense of something ominous and
Yes,
creeping
yeah,
towards her. Yeah, interesting. Should we hear a little bit of her?
yes. We are gonna listen to a first part of the novel where we meet Isla, the oldest sister, who's a therapist, and she is getting a new patient.
Okay, this is Private Rites by Julia Armfield, and it's read by Hannah van der Westhuizen.
On the afternoon of her father's death, Isla takes a session with a man who was exorcised of evil spirits at the age of 17. He is a new patient, referred from the counselling program at the hospital, white teeth and a voice whittled down from a scream. When he clasps his hands around one knee, the veins bunch up between his knuckles, pale blue against the jut of the bone. Isla tries not to notice this, inspects her own hands instead and the bitten off edge of a cuticle. Bad habits. Both the tendency to chew the skin around her nails and to notice a tic or physical trait of a patient and allow it to grow, blowing up until it becomes their entirety, the characteristic against which all else seems to pale.
I don't just I love the quality of her voice, that sort of
Mhm.
slight huskiness. And you can hear, even in this little excerpt, this growing
Yes.
intensity, right? I mean, she has really good pacing.
It goes back to what we said about Greta Jung yesterday, is the subtlety in her performance, and the way that that comes
Mhm.
through in her narration is just phenomenal, and she keeps that tension throughout the whole novel, which I imagine would be very difficult, so I just absolutely loved this audiobook.
That is Private Rites by Julia Armfield, and it's read by Hannah Vester Vesthazen. Thank you so much, Kendra. I will talk to you tomorrow.
Alright, talk then.
Don't forget to stop by audiofilemagazine.com where you can find hundreds of reviews. I'm Jo Reed. I'll talk to you tomorrow.